We're back in shoes. We've got Isaiah, Bray, Mel, and Tim.
This guy.
And today, we didn't get the DVD cover to put up. But,
I'll be back. Keep talking.
The figurines will probably tell you.
Hulk fight!
Yeah, we went for a Hulk fight. We saw Hulk, Ang Lee's
Hulk.
Smooth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
It was hulking long.
Oh,
that was a common critique, but this was directed by Ang Lee, starring Eric Bana, Jennifer Connelly, Sam Elliott. 120 million budget, and some of the writers have connections to
2003.
2003. Yeah. So a year after.
That's when I started thinking about it.
A year after Spider-Man. Stay tuned. We have a special three-parter. We did all three Spider-Mans that'll be
quite
dropping.
a few months ago.
Yeah, we did it a few months ago. We're going to be dropping it soon.
It's so long.
Stay tuned for it. We'll watch us kind of slowly decay.
We also have an Instagram photo of us like dead at the end of it.
Yeah. It was wonderful. But we're here to talk about Hulk. So I liked this movie. I really enjoyed.
I didn't
the
not
ride.
like this.
I liked it a lot more than the first time, and I think the second. I think I've only seen it twice. Like the first time I watched it, I was 14. I was like, what? The second time I watched it, I was like still kind of in that mindset. It was probably when it came out on DVD.
Right.
It's like physical media was a thing back before you guys were alive.
I think my second time was the Space Channel, right?
Yeah.
And only part of the movie.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem so bad.
I was less.
Not that it's bad.
Digestible pieces.
While still
still
thinking this movie wasn't great, I was less hard on it this time than I was the first two times.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. The comic book panel editing, loved it.
I loved it.
it was good.
I
Loved it.
hated that when I first watched it back in 2003.
Yeah.
Hated everything about that. Really dug it this time.
Yeah, this time it was
really
very
dug it
cool.
this time.
I think I was in the same boat as you. The first time I saw it, I didn't understand it, and now having a better understanding of comics and comic history, I don't know. It felt like reading a comic book.
Yeah.
At
You
times.
get the real time characters, but offset by time and panels, and
this is what we like.
it was very.
This
cool.
is what we like.
We like
We like this a lot,
Yeah.
and more comic books should do this. And it wasn't even like there was that one part where not J. Jonah Jameson, Thunderbolt Ross. Sam Elliott is like he's doing something, and then he's like, was he shaving at one point, and he's smoking, and then he's
Eric
sitting.
Bana was shaving.
Yeah.
Well,
Eric
he
Bana
was
was
shaving,
shaving,
but
yeah.
I'm saying when the cutaway, and then it was the three separate panels, and they had him it was three separate times.
Well, there was one
but
point
in a montage.
Yeah.
Right? And it really was very cool. And you had all these dramatic moments, but set side by side on
There's one point you liked
a layout.
for the podcast where he hulks out of the Bacta tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Ross, and then it cuts to Betty, and then it mashes all three of those images together.
Oh, that was great.
And you were like, that was great.
Love that.
It was a good
Yeah,
moment.
you
It
know,
was a
it
good
would
moment.
be so
It was a good
easy
moment.
to overdo that
Oh, yeah.
mechanism
totally.
as well, and
Yeah.
I don't think they did.
No, they definitely didn't. It could have been used more,
Well, I think every
especially in the clouds.
Yeah. Wow, the clouds.
That's
Okay, I never saw the fight scene in this movie until tonight because of the TV that I was watching it on back in, I think, 2003.
a tube TV.
Yeah, tube TV. We didn't have any HD or anything like that, and it was actually pretty good. It was like a decent animated movie. It was a little bit heavy on the CG aspect, but it was enjoyable. I liked it. It wasn't just flashing green lights and blue and whatnot.
It definitely
This is
wasn't
much more interesting.
Definitely wasn't a blue beam into the
A
sky.
blue laser beam into the sky? No, it wasn't that.
Well, that was good. Hey, a second Red Letter Media shout out today. Thank you guys. for
What
what
was
you
there?
did.
Was there anything else? Like Eric Bana? Do we like Eric Bana?
We love Eric Bana. And he was a good Hulk-ish. But why don't we get to hear him when he was doing all that other stuff,
Okay,
the
so
heavy lifting? We want to hear him talking when he's doing the heavy lifting, or it's not worth
my
my time.
only Eric Bana criticism is he is far too attractive to be
The nerdy
Bruce Banner.
scientist.
Like, Bruce Banner is
yeah.
like a skinny, kind of like picked on kid in a way, whereas like if you looked like Eric Bana in high school, girls wanted to fuck you. You know what I mean? It's like he's Eric Bana, like he's a good looking dude. And he's very fit in
Is
the
this
movie
a
to the
Bixby
point where
criticism? I don't know. I'm
No,
not
but,
familiar
like,
with the show. We
to
have
the
the
point-
death of the Incredible
to the
Hulk
point
lined up, I
where
guess.
the costume designer had to like frump his clothes up to make him look a little less dope. You know what I mean?
He had to
It's
look
like,
less dope.
Yeah, the costume designers.
yeah, like make him
were-
like a little
Wow.
less like beefy.
I guess he didn't go on to work on The Fresh Prince, where the
Well-
costume designer had to make everybody look way more dope.
Oh God. Okay, but like overall, we'd give Eric Bana a pass.
Hey,
like we felt
He was good in the movie, maybe not right for this role.
okay.
That's what I
Okay.
would say.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know about that. Maybe like you could recast him for me. We still said he might be the very third best Star Trek villain. That it happens to be a person and not an entity or some phenomenon.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Damn
Star
it.
Trek that was talked
Maybe
about.
fourth. It's tough. Christopher Plummer it might
Okay.
just edge in there.
I like Jennifer.
Yeah.
Jennifer
We all
Jennifer
thought
was
was
great
good.
in this
Yeah.
movie.
She was awesome.
The connection was there when she was reacting off of the Hulk
Yeah.
as well. I really liked that. It felt authentic, and for what the time was, we did say they did mocap, right? It was saying
I
Ang
had
Lee,
thought
right?
they
The-
didn't, but they did.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the most epic thing ever too.
Ang Lee himself did it.
Yeah, which is awesome. I think.
To be able to be the like director of a movie and then play the character that you need to do things and go there yourself and do it. It's like,
Well, and
Yeah.
such a way of like how Hulk is as well.
but then he should have been more like Charlie Chaplin. Like I'd rather
No.
see a Charlie Chaplin Hulk.
What? No.
Like
No,
the one where he's drunk coming into his own home. And like,
Why not breaking everything? And that would have been hilarious.
Charlie
Like,
Chaplin Hulk. Oh man. I feel like that's the superhero squad Hulk, where he just goes around smashing anything.
But Chaplin was serious.
Nick
Dark.
Nolte as well. I'm gonna throw it
Scary
out there
Nick
for
Nolte,
him. I really
hey.
enjoyed the
He
like,
works.
Shakespearean monologues and everything that happened.
that might
there
be
as
the
well.
very other best scene in the movie.
Ooh.
Other best.
Oh,
dissenting
I saw a reaction there. Were you
I'm
not
not
a
in the
fan?
right segment for this.
Yes.
Oh.
Contrasting opinion. You're staying very quiet during this
No.
segment, so.
No, I actually really enjoyed
You
it. I
enjoyed
think, like I said before, I wasn't sure what to expect going in. I hadn't seen it,
Yep.
and I actually got really kind of like I perked up right at the beginning because it was pretty cool and exciting and yeah, but that didn't last.
Yeah.
I didn't think he
God,
was
so
good.
long.
I thought that Nick was good, but like really good, really good, like a fabulous actor, obviously. But
Yeah, but
the nature of his character in the movie, it just I don't know.
Yeah.
If
Something
you
wasn't
heard all
quite
these
right.
characters' internal
Interesting.
monologues the whole way through, like Nick Nolte's walking around in his brain yelling at him doing stuff, and like Eric Bana is, and the Hulk, and they're fighting in that room of glass with the invisible floor.
That's a pitch.
That's a pitch?
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
you gotta hang on
Okay.
then, guys.
All right, well let's.
This is the problem when I blur the lines.
All right, well let's draw the
Now
line
for a
there.
message from our sponsors, the Super Mega
Going off book
Legion
banner.
of Fun. Is that a
Head of the technical division and sponsorship and marketing,
Yeah.
Tim. Stay tuned.
Tune here for more. 1-900-95 Jenny.
A real success.
All right.
We're here.
Speaking of Buscemi and things that look kind of weird and out of place, what didn't we like about the Hulk?
This is
That's
the back
really
issues
subjective.
portion of
Is that
Armageddon.
too far?
That was really good. I enjoyed what that was.
Alright.
I thought
I have been
He's
thinking about
perfectly in
this
place.
for the last 16 years. Can I go first?
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Why not? Why not?
This is actually one of the things that I didn't think I would be saying after this. After the Hulk shows up, this movie gets real boring.
You did
Yeah.
say that. You did say that a
Like
couple
it's
times.
like
yeah.
it feels like two movies. One of them is an hour and a half long. The other one is an hour and a half long.
Yes.
And they jam them both together, and I was
crudely, like some duct tape.
Yeah, and a bunch of the movie spills off in the middle.
Yeah.
And falls
Like,
on the ground. And nobody
like,
sweeps it back up and puts it on the table.
This movie,
sorry, you leave a note
feels like an hour longer than
on a
it
post-it,
is.
but you don't sign it. I don't know.
It's not
Some class
interesting
people.
enough. Hulk looked bad. I don't want to hold that against the movie. I definitely don't want to hold that against the movie. It came out
At
in
the
2003.
start, you liked what was happening.
There were fleeting moments.
I mean, they were in the dark, and you did say that they waited to build that up. But
It never finds its identity as a movie where it's like it's trying to be a character study of like Bruce Banner's inner demons and like how he's like suppressed these like traumas that lead to creating the Hulk, and then Hulk just comes out and smashes shit. So like it doesn't like necessarily like pay off.
For long, uninterrupted periods of the film.
Yeah, like long,
Like with no talking.
long,
And not exactly like cool
stretches.
songs you like. It's no Guardians of the Galaxy there.
Yeah, just long stretches of like
It's like-
he's smashing shit. All right,
Why aren't they talking? Why isn't he arguing with himself or the Hulk or the... We'll get to that.
but like like I think ultimately for me like this movie had two minds going into it, where somebody wanted to make a character-driven, dark, psychological piece, and somebody wanted to make a Hulk movie,
yeah,
and those two things didn't mesh. Because like this movie felt so long, it felt like two different movies. Like like when we were talking in the podcast about like the stuff that happened at the beginning of the movie, is like, oh yeah, like I forgot that even happened.
Yeah, like him as a team, you said.
I forgot
Yeah.
that was in this movie. Like it felt
Yeah.
like a
For like
lifetime
one
ago.
scene or two scenes? What was it? Like, did you drive a car? I forget even.
And just to maybe jump off into more of the conversation, just the final battle just doesn't work.
At all?
fair enough.
I agree.
I think I have to agree with you. I think we get like a lot of context in this movie, and that's like looking back now, even thinking about it, the context begins from the very first moment because we see like the scientists in the experiment and like we're being told all of this stuff visually with no dialogue just while that's happening, and it just keeps going. Like it starts that way and it never finishes. Even at the end with like he's in South America or wherever it is, and
With the frog
with the
on
frog
his
on the
hat.
thing and the medical supplies and all of it's just oh wow yeah. Thinking that you cover that much ground, it's pretty crazy. I don't know. I enjoyed this movie, but I will say there was a lot of explanation.
Yeah. For me, it felt like the movie was like, it had 7 rabbit holes, and it was like, I'm going down this one, come back. Going down this one, coming back. Going down like
That's a great way of explaining it.
for an
Yeah.
objective.
Go down them, but don't come back. Just
No,
go stay
get
down
lost
there.
in there,
Yes.
figure it out,
Yeah.
and then at the very end, then
Yeah.
find an exit.
That is a
But
very apt way to describe this movie.
It was just ambling for an objective,
Yeah.
and
Like,
it was
like
really
here's the stuff in the
frustrating.
book that you need to know. Maybe we'll make more.
Maybe that didn't work.
Give
but
us your
we
money.
Shot it. So.
Yeah, like taking him to the secret military base for experimentation, and like when he was already somewhere that he
The
could have.
super secret.
The super secret that has its name everywhere in the corridors
Yeah.
when you're going around.
It was like, are we at the Apple offices on Facebook? Or
I
something?
still like putting boxes always in the way of the other, and then you're like the blank blah, 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 corporation, and you can't ever see it, and it's always just happens to be things in
Right.
the way.
But you were saying about the rabbit holes.
Yeah, sorry.
I love the idea of having a like dark psychological tragedy of a Hulk movie. I love that idea.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see them steer more into that, because visually, like, there was very poppy colors,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I guess
Bright, like reds and greens and blues, like on the stairs and the railings. Like it was intentional and
and I
Weird.
like I kind of
Like-
enjoyed some of those
Yeah.
visuals, but together with the tone of the movie, I'm not sure. Like, it just goes back to, I think, also adding to your point that there's just things that are being layered on top of each other that don't necessarily cohesively belong together.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very comic booky. The only thing that I would say about that is I do feel like it's very comic booky to have, like, the coloured wires around everywhere and the railing and all of that kind of stuff. So,
And I love it. It
yeah,
just with
yeah.
the concept.
Oh, I agree. There's
a
certain moments
dark
where this
tragedy.
dark tone just seems to break for this
Yeah.
the weird reasonings as well. Like it's a army base, you can't expect it to at least look a little bit used, but it almost had that Dick Tracy feel of like everything's got that fresh
Dick
coat of
Tracy
paint on it.
qualities, definitely.
You know,
With
so-
the way they get the colored different garbage cans. Right?
Yes, the different garbage cans. in
They're
Dick
all
Tracy,
like reds
yeah,
and yellows
yeah.
and blues.
Never thought I'd be referencing
lions
coloured
and
garbage
tigers and
cans,
bears.
but
Oh my.
Here we are.
yeah, this is wonderful.
And I think they could have found a way to like marry those two things together, but they didn't.
Or just cohabitate even.
Yeah.
Symbiotic relationship.
They were what is the word?
Clicking, snapping.
Oh, jackal.
Dancing.
You know,
Jackal.
when you're not
Clicking.
married, but like you've been living together long enough to be considered
De facto.
married.
Common law.
Common law. They were.
Oh, common.
This movie was common law between two different individuals. Not married, but common law.
Love it.
I don't know about that analogy. Because you
No,
can have some
neither
great
do
common law
I.
relationships.
Okay, yeah. Are we then making a statement about the quality of the film? I guess I have to go.
Yeah. Finish
Guess you
us up,
have
Tim.
to.
Finish us up. What are you?
Bring it
I
on.
don't know. I didn't hate this movie. It didn't offend me in any way, but there's nothing almost memorable at all, except the poodle
Oh, the
The
dog.
Biting his
Oh.
dick.
I love dogs.
biting his dick. Yeah, it's bad things that you remember about this movie. You're like, what? Somebody made a Hulk poodle in a movie?
I'm the biggest advocate for dogs, and loving them in movies, but I did not. There was what? Why?
It would have needed to be like the Dexter or Clayface analogy for the pitch. Stay tuned. But if he was like taking his dog to auditions and then he had to fight the Hulk poodle dog and it was like Beethoven, right? Or Air Bud, right? And you're like, he's like a superhero dog fighting another super villain dog. There could be a whole market.
Oh no!
Oh, mercy.
Oh, damn. Saved by the buzzer. All right, stay tuned. Rating time. Backwards hats and ratings time. All right. Ooh, a little bit of controversy, maybe some differing opinions. Let's see and shed it out into the light.
Shared it out.
Yeah.
Shut it
Yeah.
out.
You see what I did there?
Shout it out loud.
We gotta figure out our rating system. What do we
Exploding frogs. It has to be exploding frogs.
I'm almost into exploding frogs the most of the ones we've thrown out there.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree.
Like dick
Right.
bites.
Dick bites. Hulk
That
poodle
was-
dick bites.
Ooh.
It's too much.
Let it go,
Ooh.
Isaiah.
Too much.
Let it go.
Not sure. It makes you feel uncomfortable. It's not
To
right.
the imagery, man.
Exploding
For
frogs. There was
posterity.
like at least 3 exploding frogs in this.
Very in
movie, so.
quick succession as well. Like early on, we saw a lot of experimenting happen early
Like,
on.
I think at one point Tim was very concerned that the frogs were real.
Yeah,
I
that's
found
true.
it
That's true.
rather
He was.
quite
He
disturbing.
was.
They were not.
It was but they were
Well,
fake.
maybe-
They were
maybe the last
prosthetics pumped with
Look.
like goo and slime and stuff. And then they had a team of engineers that hid under the table. They went, or possibly like this.
Or like,
You talking about how they exploded the frogs?
He's
Love
reenacting
it.
it.
He's
Kids,
he's
man.
giving you the seat. Whoa!
What?
He's-
I was pumping. just pumping. What are you talking about?
Oh,
I'm gonna give
God.
my rating
Okay,
now.
great. Yeah.
Um,
Thanks, Mel.
Yeah, so off to a good start. Many good things, but not enough comparative to the bad things. So I am going to give it a bit of a splat, one exploding frog, and another half an exploding frog. 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah.
You dislike this movie a lot more than I do.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it kind of
Okay.
it set me up for being like, I'm gonna love it, and then so my expectations were high right off the get go, and then they plummeted.
I mean, that might be the
I'm holding it
benefit of
against.
having seen it before as well.
Probably we knew what to expect. So yeah.
Can I go
that's,
next then?
Yeah. Go for it.
I've seen it before, and my expectations equally plummeted.
Of course, you two are gonna be similar. Yeah. Go.
Yeah, 1.5.
For it. Oh wow, you're
Done.
going 1.5 as well.
I agree with her assessment completely. It was like
It's
it was
very
like
rational.
ah! Right? That was my best Kermit. No, maybe not my best.
I've seen better.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned.
Tim's gonna release
And
a
a
sex
half.
tape one day.
But you're only rating this movie
One and a half.
One and a
Exploding
half
frogs.
exploding Kermits.
But not
Jeez,
Kermit's.
okay.
Kermit is invincible.
Wow.
Immortal. Indestructible.
I think we've found something of
So close.
Tim's that we weren't.
I struck a nerve
setting
there.
up before. Yeah. Ooh,
You don't
okay,
mess with
okay.
Kermit.
I don't know.
We should watch a Muppets movie
I
sometime.
feel like we're gonna be.
Who would
nicer
win in
to
a
this
fight?
movie.
Yeah, after you.
Mickey Mouse or Kermit the Frog?
Oh, Kermit.
Oh, Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the
sure.
Frog, right?
Yeah.
Because he has the knees, man.
The.
He's got longer limbs, like
He's
he can,
good. He has the
got
reach.
some reach, like
Yeah, man.
I remember watching this movie as a kid.
Oh yeah, back to the movie.
14-year-old in cinemas, Penmar and Penticton. You don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't like it then. I didn't like it now. I liked it more now than I did then. But still, it's not great. I think I can only go again, if we're just going like that middle of the road, enjoyed it, but it's not good, like Punisher Warzone scale, which is always what I come back to now.
I think
it's
it's
a
a
good
good
scale.
middle of the run.
I think it's a two
I'm so
exploding
shocked that's the
frogs
scale.
for me. Like two exploding frogs. Like it's not
Okay.
as fun as like a movie like Punisher Warzone. Like I said earlier, I probably will never put this movie on again, ever. Like it just like this like solidifies how it is. Like it is a stitch work of a movie that doesn't work together, and there's nothing to like be like, yes, that's the reason you watch this movie. People tried, but they didn't make it there. And yeah, so to me, it's like it's two exploding frogs. Like, it's like a solid 2.
Whew. Wow. Okay. Geez, you guys really have all some fantastic points, but.
oh no.
4 out of 5.
No.
What the hell?
Yeah. I enjoyed
Wow.
the monster action of this movie, actually getting to see the fight scene at the end. I feel like Ang Lee...
For the first time.
For the first time, exactly.
You've seen this never before. This is the first
No,
time you
here's the thing. I've
You've
seen
seen
this
part of it.
movie,
but not the end.
but the problem is every time I've tried to watch the final part of the movie, the quality of the TV or the copy that I'm watching is never... Like, I only saw it once on TV and then on reruns.
Right.
And I've never seen that final battle the way it was meant to be seen because the quality was never there. So it
Right,
was
and the
just like
sun's coming in the
darkness.
window, and you put the blind, but it doesn't matter because the sun's just coming through the side of the blind. And you're like,
Exactly.
why are these blinds
You get
so
the
far out
reflection
from that
happening.
window?
But like this movie, to me, Ang Lee understood who the Hulk was enough to add a very plausible, like, contextual justification for why he doesn't get torn apart when the gamma bomb explodes on him, and like I like the detail that he added in here.
I like none of that.
I
that
enjoy-
whole
I
backstory,
enjoyed the
man,
fight
was
scenes.
pointless.
Actually,
I found that for the serious tone it was taking, if you compare it to like say Nolan's Batman, which I was reading in an article this afternoon, I think it's a good comparison. Doesn't necessarily work as well with the Hulk. Works
I
really well
compared
with
it to
Batman.
Nolan's Batman.
I'm gonna.
Begins. I said it was like the transitions and the stark contrast between how they did that.
Yeah.
The harsh cuts and the like these weird like nebulous frames that fly and
I'm gonna double down on something I said before we watched this movie for this podcast. It is a better Ang Lee movie than it is a Hulk movie.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think that's it. I think that's
Okay.
It's a better movie that showcases why that director is great, rather than why that character is great.
As you pointed
I
out the
agree.
other night, Thor Ragnarok is the best Hulk movie.
Yeah.
Right?
It
Like
Agreed.
without a doubt.
It's like tied for me for like Avengers or Thor Ragnarok, where he's like a secondary character. It's like maybe Hulk doesn't carry a movie.
I
Well,
think
then
it's such a
Bruce
good way
Banner
to go. Good way to treat him as well. Like give him someone to play off of, and it's so much more interesting.
Abbott and Costello, right? Lou and Hardy.
We're starting to delve
Lou-
into that
Lou and Bud.
that fabulous time of the show, though.
Midget Hulk.
Midget. Okay.
Is
Let's-
that his thing?
Well, stay tuned.
Tyrion
We're
Hulk.
gonna pitch you some stuff.
We're gonna pitch this.
We're gonna pitch you
This is
some
a
stuff.
good one for a pitch, man. You
Pitch
check it
this
out.
bitch.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, pitching pitches. Take two.
Absolutely. Too.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Again.
All right, so Hulk. There's a lot of elements in this movie I feel that like you could just play with a Hulk movie. But who wants to kick us off? Who has like something burning?
This
that they
guy.
wanna- Yeah, Tim.
No, don't make me go first.
No? Okay.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first. I don't even know what I'm gonna say, but I'll go first.
I have one if you want me to go.
No,
first.
it's good. I again, it's like one of those things. This movie's been conscious in my psyche for 16 years at this point. I watched it as a 14-year-old in the theater. It was the first movie that I watched outside of Spider-Man that I was like, oh my god, like these characters are getting big movie treatments.
Yeah, it's right after Spider-Man.
Spider-Man a year later.
This is 2003.
A summer later. I think that for me, it just like a little less self-importance for a Hulk movie. A little bit more like, hey, like this is Hulk. He's like a little more not horror, but like he's got like the Jekyll and Hyde thing going on. A little bit more like, hey, this is what this is. Let's just like embrace that rather than trying to make it important. Like rather than trying to, this movie tries to say something about like psychology, about like abusive parents. It's like, well, maybe you don't go down that route with a Hulk movie because he smashes shit.
But none of the characters were therapists or psychologists or anything, which was a weird missing element.
And yeah, like I would have taken it out of like that like bigger like conspiracy context of like his dad
The
was,
save
like,
the world
making
syndrome.
him into the Hulk. I would have just been like, freak accident. It could have happened to anybody, but it happened to him. And then just if the movie had just been the pursuit of the military trying to catch the Hulk for the entire movie, I think I would have really enjoyed it more. Just like that, those parts work, but again, they don't work with the beginning of the movie where it tries to be important, and then he's just smashing tanks.
He should be mastering the ability to control hulking out, and he should be then blending in.
That's like the third movie, the second movie, but for this origin movie, hit the origin right away, hit the ground running with that.
Yeah.
And then just let him smash some stuff, make Bruce Banner an interesting character, and make his journey hard for him. In that, like, he can't really, like, it was kind of fun in, like, The Incredible Hulk where he can't have sex with Betty because, like, if he gets his heart rate up, he's gonna Hulk out.
That was
That's
great.
a good moment. Like do more of that, where it's like it affects his actual life, and then it's just the military coming at him, and maybe you don't even have like a superpowered villain at the end. I don't know. Like
that would have been better with no superpowered villain.
If they didn't have a superpowered villain at the end of this movie, would it have been worse? I don't think so. That was like a 30-second scene.
It would have been shorter.
But that's it.
Well, we know he's going to turn into the big green hulking guy, so you're saying just get to it faster and
double down on the Hulkness of the movie.
Then do Thunderbolt Ross.
And make Thunderbolt Ross Red Hulk.
Red Hulk.
Might
Red
not
and
have
green,
existed in the
man.
comics in
That's what you
2003,
do.
I'm not sure.
Christmas colors, right? They're iconic
but,
for a reason.
Yeah, that's it. Just
where on that from?
Know you're making a Hulk movie, embrace that, and just have him smashing more stuff, but also, again, just still make Bruce Banner like the focus, interesting character.
For sure.
I would have liked to know more about the Bruce Banner character. Like, I don't know. I kept like trying to make Spider-Man parallels during the thing. I was like, could he have been a scientist? Does Betty Ross have to also be? She's a scientist, I guess, or something.
Oh well, you mentioned the high school thing with him as well.
Like making them younger, and then you said he's Amadeus Cho, right? And that would have been cool. Or Thunderbolt Ross would have been cool.
Yep.
Seeing other Hulks, they were doing like other weird things and creatures and cloud monsters and stuff, and I just want to see Hulks fucking fighting Hulks, man. What?
It's
Imagine that's Nick.
This
Nolte.
is the pitch,
That's
okay?
Eric Bana.
Nick Nolte with his beard, and he's crazy, and he's old. And then you have Eric Bana, and he's new, he's reboot, he's gray, because he's edgy. Lens flare!
Tell us more, Kim. Tell us more.
Right? And then the Hulks smash! That's all I got.
3 exploding frogs! 3 exploding frogs!
10 exploding frogs.
That's pretty fantastic. Mel, how do you top that?
I don't know. I think one of the major elements that I really wanted to see was the struggle of like the Hulk doing horrible things by accident.
Like
And
he
then
breaks things, leans on things.
and hurts
Yeah.
people he loves.
Right?
Like, you know, maybe he could, if Betty was going to remain like the main kind of emotional interest in the movie, or give him a family, whatever, which...
Yeah, we
Tim
said
actually-
like the embedded, weirdly, like Dexter, how he ends at the end, like where he's like embedded in, or like, but you have that character who's like, you start the movie like
Established.
Magneto from
Yeah.
like Apocalypse, right? Where he's like established,
only-
he's living his life,
The
and then he has
only
to be pulled
interesting
out.
thing about that movie was Magneto's arc before the movie
started.
Yeah, and then they shut it off so quickly.
They
as well.
never gave Fassbender the arc to do that movie.
But then
just
again-
Magneto.
This is Hulk, not that movie.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Talk about
But that wasn't in
Sorry,
that.
you
But
were-
that would have been good.
Yeah, I just wanted to see that more, I guess more of the psychological struggle than of the Hulk actually not having control of himself when he does Hulk out. Bring the Hulk in earlier, maybe cut the film in half,
Half.
maybe have the Hulk learn something, maybe.
So
Mhm,
it's kind of interesting because like what you resonated with the movie feels like the more psychological things, and where I was saying make it more Hulk smash, you were like making more. He's got a family. He's like psychologically torn.
But that's
But
the,
the
same
Hulk
movie
smash, the Hulk smash is important because the Hulk smash breaks up this like
Agreed.
great existence where he's this regular guy who
Yeah.
maybe has compartmentalized the beginnings of like where he got Hulkified.
Yeah.
They merged the personalities in this movie a little bit, which was interesting because Bruce had these moments where he would come out. Oh, God, the timer's
we
gone.
went long on a pitch.
Bruce has these moments where he like, you know, when he came out and he like went to strangle Betty and he like loves the rage and all of that, and we didn't get to see him then be like, oh God, what have I done? You know?
Yeah, that's the moment we were missing.
That's so true. Yeah.
And
I
then-
agree with that.
Yeah, you could also have a really clear, like, inciting incident as well where he doesn't know he has this ability to become the Hulk. Something happens that makes
Early
him
on.
really angry.
Yeah.
And then he hurts someone who he loves by accident, and then
And then he
got
has
the rest
that
of the
guilt.
movie.
That's the
Yeah.
Man
He's
of
made a
Steel
spectacle of
arc.
himself, then
Almost,
the
right.
military gets involved.
Yeah. That's the
cool.
Spider-Man arc as well.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
letting someone die on his watch.
Uncle
and
Ben.
then,
Or you could
yeah.
even like
He made rice
you
one time.
could even do a movie
it
where
burnt.
like
It's tragic.
obviously the audience knows Bruce Banner is going to become the Hulk, but like you kind of treat it in a way where it's like nobody's ever read a Hulk comic before,
Yeah.
and like you treat Bruce Banner and be like, oh, this monster is like just coming out, and you do more like the Wolfman,
That
or
would've
like
been
the
cool.
Jekyll and Hyde, where
Yes.
he finds out that he's hulking out,
Yeah.
and then you get to delve into like the psychology of it, like where it's coming from.
Who am I?
What if he found a way to like put like a hypnosis thing on the Hulk where he can recall his memories or something, but he's not there for it, but then he like has a thing he can do where he can like dream in on
Like
him.
a sound.
Like he lucid
Okay.
dreams or something.
So this
Right? He looks at
kinda-
his hands and he Hulk smash.
Yeah.
And then he gets to see what the Hulk does.
Now we're gonna have to be quick because we've gone over our timer. I'm just gonna quickly throw out my pitch and then we'll wrap it up.
All right.
But what you're saying, I think, like up Banner's intelligence level to where he'd be in the secret military base already, where he ends up. He knows Thunderbolt Ross. They're working out in the Savage Land. Shit gets real out there. Then Hulk gets to be in the land of giant monsters,
It would be
and like
amazing.
we get to see emotionality through him, like crushing a maybe a bird's nest, and then the eggs fall out. You know, like we get these little moments where we can see some humanity, but it's not with him and other humans. So we get to see more of that character growth.
like
and then the-
dinosaurs, like King Kong. And
yeah,
stuff.
and then the violence comes in that
And
way.
you could have
but,
Magneto, Fassbender, and McAvoy Xavier there. to like pass the torch to the MCU. How fucking badass would that be?
Well, this is 2003. Like,
Yeah.
we're pitching how to make this particular
Well, even now, make the Hulk Savage Land
with Patrick Stewart.
with
and-
Patrick Stewart and Michael
Kellen.
Fassbender.
But stay tuned for that Back Issues episode where we cover that movie. It'll be amazing.
Are we ever gonna watch Apocalypse?
Well, I guess now we have to.
I've watched it. I could talk about that movie. It's
Oh.
pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
But this has been your wonderful team as always. Isaiah, Bray, Mel, Tim. Stay tuned for
Thanks for
more. Like, share, subscribe, and check out some
All
of
that
our
jazz.
older episodes. Yeah.
Call 1-900.
Also, Instagram and Twitter are a
I
thing
got the
now.
Instagram every time. Yeah.
Facebook is a thing now.
8675309.
We're getting legit.
Your back issues.
Oh, do that.
Friends and followers, that was the latest episode of Back Issues. If you want to check out more, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned. We have stacks more for you coming.